Hello and welcome to Queendom TV, and today guys this message is specifically to the baddie community, which are the fans of Jesy Nelson. And guys, I know your girl's been quiet, I know your girl's been doing some stuff, and I've been still paying attention to everything that's been going online surrounding Jesy and doing research and stuff. And I just wanted today specifically to say something that I feel like is going to be hard for some of you to hear, but I really want you guys to open your minds to what I'm saying and understand where I'm coming from, because everything that I'm saying comes from a place of the fact that I genuinely want the best for you guys. I genuinely love you guys, and I genuinely want to see you guys win in life and to thrive, not just survive. The hate online has been, and it continues to be crazy. From all the different accounts, the fake accounts, and I've got myself in back with so many different back and forths with different people, so I totally appreciate, how hard this is for you guys. And I can't even say that I fully understand, because I haven't been in the game, haven't been in the fight as long as you guys have been, but as I've been looking around at stuff, and as I've been also just thinking about how I feel, when I'm going through this stuff, and how it makes me feel when I'm engaging with people, I really started to think that, I know that you guys are doing this stuff for Jesy, and I know that you guys want to support her, and that you're upset by the things that people are saying. But the more and more that I look into this, the more and more conversations that I have with people who are being hateful, the more I realize that a lot of the time it's really not worth it. And that's the thing that's going to be hard for you guys to hear, because I get it. When you're seeing an injustice being done, and look guys, when I say this stuff to you, I'm somebody who, like, if I see something that needs attention, that needs somebody to fight for it and support it, I'm right there. That's why I even have this channel, because I'm like, I need to speak up about stuff, because I'm not just going to sit here when things are going down. Like, I don't have a voice, like God didn't give me a mouth to speak with, but also I've had to learn that some things are not worth doing. I think for Jesy, right, because this is about Jesy ultimately. And Jesy is getting on with what she's doing right now. She's been in LA, and I'm going to be talking about that as well in one of my upcoming videos, about a few other bits and bobs, to stuff to do with Jesy. But like, she's been in LA, she's working on what she's doing, and I think she's got to herself to a place where, and this is just my observation, where she's being really positive as far as the fans, messaging the fans and stuff. And it seems like, the online hate and everything isn't taking as much of a toll as it was before, which I am so happy for and so grateful for that for her, because she's been through it. She's really been through it, much like a lot of you guys have really been through it with all this stuff, and so because she seems to be doing okay, that's what I feel like gives me the permission, not the permission, but that's why I feel okay with saying to you guys that maybe you should follow in her footsteps. Maybe you should focus forwards, onwards and upwards, because I really am starting to feel like the more we engage with these people, it's like we're like fueling the beast. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're literally adding fuel to the fire, because for those of us who are fighting for Jesy, we're doing this because we care about her, we care about each other, we care about, doing good in the world and helping people, and everything like that, right? And that's great. But a lot of the people that we're arguing with are just arguing for argument's sake. They're just arguing to get a reaction out of us. It's like what they say about bullies, like how bullies bully people to get a reaction. And so the best way to respond to a bully is to not respond at all, because then they can't get the enjoyment out of the reaction. And I can feel it sometimes, even myself, like when I'm talking to like some people online. And I do like when you guys tag me and stuff, like, feel free, because it's good for me to know what's going on, even if I don't always necessarily comment on the situation. I don't always feel like it's my place to comment on certain things, but I do read what you guys send me and stuff, but like, you guys tag me in and stuff. But like, when I get into those disagreements myself, I find myself getting quite annoyed a lot of the time. And then I find myself like feeling like I have to go back and forth. And before I know it, it's like been like an hour or something, right? And I've been going back and forth with somebody online. But when I actually look at what we've been talking about, we haven't really said anything that important. Like, they're not changing their mind. They're just repeating the same nonsense that they're repeating. And I'm starting to, and I realize that they're not trying, we're not having a discussion. And this is what I feel like I want to say to you guys, is that a lot of the time, majority of the time, you're not having a conversation with somebody that actually wants to change or do the right thing. You're having a conversation with somebody that is just having enjoyment out of causing chaos. Somebody that maybe they you know, have their own internal issues going on, and it's causing for them to be hateful and jealous. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing this stuff, you know. And so you wanting to jump in the ring with them, you are always going to be the casualty. And that's really what worries me, is I'm worried for so many of you guys' mental health. A lot of you have shared, like, with me, you know, what you've been through, your personal stories. We already know what happened with Daniel, God bless his soul, you know, as a result of everything. And I'm just at the place now with you guys where I'm like, I don't want any of you to be another Daniel. Like, I don't want to be hearing of another baddie, you know, that took their life because of hate online. I think you guys are such beautiful, lovely people, like every single one of you. So many of you have been so kind to me ever since I started speaking with you guys, which, again, complete opposite than what I get from these hateful individuals online, you know, to the point where, you know, I just kind of want to say that if I just want to release you guys from feeling like you have to defend all these things, you know, because Jesy, she is out there now doing what she needs to do. And very soon, your attention is going to need to more be on, you know, supporting what she's doing now and catching up with what she's doing now, you know. And I think, you know, sometimes even with these people that we're arguing with, whether it's toxic mixers, whether it's just other people, because I feel like there's just so many people getting involved now, you know, a lot of them are trying to catch you out as well. Because this is the thing, like, somebody even said this to me, like, they'll be like, look, like, somebody tagged me, it was like a toxic mixer, I believe. They tagged me, they were like, look what your people are saying, like, look at how they're talking about Leanne. Like, they're looking for opportunities to make us look bad. They're looking for opportunities for us to have acted out of character, and then they can say that we're the same as them. And remember, I used to say in the earlier videos that I made about Jesy, how the important thing is we have to maintain our cool, we have to be respectful, we have to be mature, even though we all want to be hella petty and get wild. Trust me, guys, I am right there with you. When I certain things that I want to say, like, sometimes I have to sit there and really think about how I'm going to rephrase what I'd really like to say in a lot of these situations. But like I said before, the reason why we do that is because when we do end up, you know, saying certain things, and I have seen some examples where like, you know, some baddies have said things, and it does make the baddie community look bad, you know, and we don't want to be looking like the rest of these people. We don't want to be looking like the toxic mixers. And so we have to be careful that we don't allow ourselves to end up, what do you call it? We don't allow ourselves to end up being targeted, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Acting out of character. There you go. Acting out of character, or acting in a way that maybe we might regret in the future, and then them using it against us. Because this is another thing that I see. It's a very annoying thing that people do, guys. Don't get me wrong. All this stuff is unfair. I'm saying all of this because I want you to see you guys win. I'm here because I care about you guys, and I care about Jesy's and her succeeding, right? But a lot of these people, like, they will, as soon as, and I've said this before, right? When you've got somebody who's done something wrong and they don't want to acknowledge the wrong thing that they've done, if they can find something wrong that you've done, even if they've done 100 things wrong and then you do one thing wrong, one of the most classical tactics of somebody who doesn't want to address what they've done wrong, or who just wants to stick with whatever they're doing, is they'll just focus on the one wrong that you've done, right? And so that's what I'm trying to also avoid for us, you know, is just being in a situation where we now have to apologize, or we have to do whatever because we were put. And it's normal, because you're going to be triggered, and it's very triggering. A lot of this stuff, it's very triggering. It's triggering in the sense of making you maybe angry at what they're saying. It's triggering in the sense of it being upsetting, experiencing so much hate. And the only way it's really going to stop, guys, is we have to close these doors. You know, we've got to learn to pick and choose our battles. Some things are worth fighting and saying for. You know, there's so many things I'm going to speak about continually to do with Jesy, and I think we all should, in terms of, you know, fighting a battle that has an actual goal, and there's going to be a result that we can have on the other end, you know, in terms of spreading the truth, and in terms of exposing the injustices. But then there's a lot of battles that the only casualty at the end is you. You know, the person online doing the hate is getting a kick, is getting an enjoyment out of seeing you upset, out of knowing that they're causing so much upset and so many mental health issues and things in the baddie community. The only way that we truly win is by shutting them out. You know, the only way that we truly win is just by blocking people and reporting them and not responding to them. Because I'm telling you now, if every single baddie, every single person who is a fan of Jesy stopped responding to these people, they would have no power and they would start to look very stupid. They would start to look very stupid, not just to us, but also to other people looking in, because it's like you're literally talking and no one is responding to you. Like, you just look like an idiot. Like, imagine what it looks like for you to just be spewing hate all over somebody having hate all over like their Twitter feed and no one's even responding to them and they're just there with all these hateful tweets. For me, those are the real wins we should be looking for. And like I said, the most important thing of all of this is the fact that I'm concerned for you guys' mental health. That's where I'm at with this. You know, in the beginning I said, if you guys, remember I said in one of my previous videos that if you guys feel like you can protect your mental health while doing all of this stuff, then continue on if you feel like that's what you want to do. But for a lot of you, if you know, we gotta when it comes to mental health issues, and guys, I've been there when it comes to mental health issues, okay? That's why when I say this stuff, I say this from experience and realizing how easy it can be to spiral into a really bad day or a really bad episode or get to a really dark place because of something, right? But we have to also take charge of our mental health. A lot of the time we have to be active players in helping ourselves, because ultimately, guys, you have a purpose for being on this earth. Somebody, at least I, if not I'm sure others, the rest of the baddie community, including Jesy, also want you to be here. And so if we're thinking about supporting Jesy, what would Jesy want? Jesy wouldn't want any of you to be a victim of what she went through. That's probably her absolute worst nightmare. You know, so many people that go through mental health issues like myself, you know, and I think Jessy's kind of similar in that way, is like the reason why, you know, you do the things you do is to prevent people from going through those types of things, is to prevent people from experiencing the pain that you've experienced. And I know, and many people know, that like the things that you hear, the things you expose yourself to, they do affect you on a mental health level. They are going to affect you. They are going to upset you. If you already feel ugly, or you already feel unlovable, or however you might feel, and then somebody says that to you, that's going to reinforce that into you. And this is some of the horrible stuff that some of these people say, some of these toxic mixers and all these hateful people. And I'm just concerned for you guys' mental health, a lot of you at this point. And I do pray for you guys, and I genuinely have concern for you guys, you know, because if I'm being real and if I can be honest, like when Jessy's music comes out, also even when Leanne's music comes out, right, which we're going to talk about the Leanne thing in another video, but there is the potential that all of this hate and everything is going to get worse, like I said in one of my previous videos. And so if it's already taking such a toll on us now, what are we going to do then? And so rather than us just waiting to see what happens and then it hitting us, and then us potentially having more casualties like poor Daniel, now while we can, let's start shutting those doors, you know, from these people. Let's stop responding. Let's stop responding. You know, if anything, instead of responding to people, you know, while you're doing your stuff, if let's say you make edit videos, right? Let's say you make edit videos and you've got people hating from the toxic mixer community. Instead of addressing them directly, you know, block them. Maybe instead block them, or instead call them out. Oh, no, don't call them out. I was gonna say, or you know, write to the social media platform about these types of people. You know, there's so many ways you can report people nowadays. Don't call them out. There's so many people that you can ways you can report people nowadays on social media for what they're doing. If they're being inappropriate, if they're doing this, if they're doing that, do that. If you're seeing a fake account and you can see that somebody's faking that they're a Jesy fan account, but really they're just faking it or something, report this stuff, you know, and block them and shut it out. Because I'll tell you something, guys, so much of the stuff, think about it like this, right? If you didn't hear something that you haven't heard doesn't have the power to affect you because you haven't heard it. So they can think and say whatever they want to think and say about you and anybody else. If you haven't heard it, it's not going to affect you. And that's why you have to close a lot of these doors so that you don't hear it. And I really feel like with Jesy, the way that she it seems like she's acting, from what I can see, is she's just focusing her energies on the good energy around her, around the positive people around her, you know. And that's what I think you guys should do. I mean, there's so many fan group chats and stuff, and I'm in some of them, and I actually love reading the conversations, even though I'm very quiet, because girl's a bit of an introvert, guys. Okay, I'm a bit to myself sometimes. I talk a lot on YouTube, which means that when I'm not making videos, I'm usually a lot more quieter, because I'm like, okay, I'm so sick of like talking now, you know. But I love reading the messages and just seeing just what's going on in people's lives, and you know, seeing how everybody's interacting and everything like that. I think that's amazing. I think that's what you should be more doing, you know, or you know, talking with fellow baddies about things that you guys want to do in your own personal lives, where you want to go. Because remember as well, you've got a whole community that supports you now. So if you want to do something, if you want to have a new thing, if you want to start a channel, a YouTube channel, if you want to be a musician, you've got a whole bunch of people that can support you, you know, and they can come from this same community. And how amazing would that be, again, for Jesy to see that from what she did and how she conquered all these issues, how she conquered all of the hate online, that she's inspired others, you know, to conquer this hate online and actually then birth, you know, what they actually want to do, and actually have a career that they love and actually do what they love, just like she is. And to me, that's more what you should focus your energy onto, because that's going to make you feel better. It's gonna it's, you know, that's very healing. Being creative, doing what you feel like you're born to do, that's very healing. You give an opportunity to the others, you know, to support you, because we're all supporting each other here, you know. I think that's a really good way as well for us to just kind of shift our energies, because I do feel for you guys. I don't know how you guys have done it for this long. I really don't. I commend you guys so much. I'm like, these guys are just amazing for how they've really stuck it out. And I really want to stress that I really don't feel like you ignoring these people in by any way is you not supporting Jesy. That is not the case, not at all. Because if she's ignoring them, if she's not paying attention, right, if she's now leveled up to the point where she's more above this stuff, then that's okay for you guys to do that as well. And I'm just realizing that the more we feed into it, it's like the worse it's becoming. And I almost feel like now we're kind of helping the situation to get worse in a way, if you know what I mean, as opposed to if we were just shutting these people out and just ignoring them. You know, like this happens to me in my videos, you know, even like sometimes people will and I do read the comments of the people who are like trying to be hateful, and sometimes I see majority of the time you guys have got there already to say what needs to be said, so I'm just like, okay, cool. The rest of the baddies, they already answered this, they got it, you know. But sometimes I read what these people say, and the reason why I don't reply some of the time is I'm just like, a lot of the time I laugh, because I just think, have you really like gone out of your way to like come and really write this under my video? But also I'm just like, okay, but what you just said, it doesn't change how I feel about myself. It doesn't change how I feel about Jesy. It doesn't change how I feel about the baddie community. You haven't said anything meaningful. It's like, you know, sometimes people can say something meaningful that can actually help. And that's why, you know, when I was first, when I was initially getting a lot more of the mixes coming onto my videos, you know, I was speaking about certain specific topics because people were bringing things to the table, and I'm going to continue to speak about those same topics as well. But a lot of the time, it's not like we're having a meaningful actual discussion where they're pointing out something that we need to be paying attention to, or there's something that is important. A lot of it right now is just a witch hunt. A lot of it is just immaturity. A lot of it is just from what I see, what it seems like, people just trying to be, people just trolling, you know, just the classic trolling. People saying things they don't mean, they don't even understand, just to get a reaction. Because a lot of people out there, especially the very sad people who unlike a lot of us, are willing to just accept, you know, our issues and maybe, you know, and try to do the work for them. A lot of people instead, they allow those things to turn into hate. They allow those things to turn into, you know, narcissism and all that kind of stuff. And in turn, that means that they then they just want to be hateful online. And so let's not be food for them. Let's not be fuel. Let's not be a victim. Let's not be their prey. You know, let's focus on what we got going on. Let's focus on what Jesy's got going on, you know. And I really feel like now, again, like I said, it's just my opinion, we're almost going to be helping Jesy more by not engaging with them. So at least there's not so much, they're not getting so much attention, because I just feel like they're just getting too much attention now. And we need to just say, you know what, we're here for Jesy. We're not here for to just be in these petty arguments. To say we're not going to give attention to this nonsense. You know, we are not going to allow ourselves to be destroyed by the words of people online that we can't even see and people that we've not even met, you know. And it's hard to ignore those things if you're looking at them and if you're reading them and if you're engaging with them. And like I said, ultimately, if this is all about Jesy, then Jesy is doing what she needs to do, you know. And so just as she's doing what she needs to do, just as she seems to have conquered, let us also conquer and not allow these things to get to us, not allow these things. Because I'll tell you something, guys, you guys know that I'm a woman of faith and I believe in God. One thing I know about the enemy, one thing I know about the kingdom of darkness, is it loves to have us distracted with things so that we never live out our full purpose. And I really don't want any of you guys to be so distracted and bogged down by all this darkness that comes from, you know, all of these people, to the point where you never get to see, you know, your own dreams come true. Because how much greater would it be for you to see your dreams come true, and then, you know, for Jesy to know that because of me, not only my fans actually were inspired enough for their dreams to come true. I think that's one of the most incredible gifts that you could actually give her, and ways of supporting her, you know. Or when she and as you do that, saying, you know, this is because of Jesy's my inspiration, so on and so forth. I really feel like we need to shift our mindset and our attention to that more, because I want to see all of you guys win. I want to see all of you guys win at the top. You know, we should be having, you know, baddies being successful and inviting everybody, inviting the whole baddie community to come to events and this and that. How cool would that be? Like, if we were all doing what we wanted to do, we're all supporting each other. I think that's amazing. You guys have shown me so much support. I love to support what you guys have got going on. If you do have different things that you guys are doing or that you want to do, you know, let's do those things and let that be the reason. Because again, the more successful we are in the things we do, then that's when we actually get to say, like, how did you get here? Oh, you know, I was inspired by what Jesy Nelson did. And think about people like, you know, the haters and stuff. Imagine how much of a win it is for you if they one day had to see you on TV being interviewed about who was your inspiration for you to get this far in your career, and you say Jesy Nelson. That is a real win. Those are the types of things that are a real win. That's why a lot of people say that the best revenge is success. It really is. And I'm not saying that you guys have to necessarily want to be famous or anything at all. I'm just saying whatever it is that you want to do what you do it well, succeed in doing it, and let that be the thing that we as baddies can use to fuel our inspiration from Jesy and our support for what she's doing. Because then people can look and say, wow, look at all these people who have been inspired and have gone on to do the things that they needed to do, who've conquered their mental health, all because they were inspired by Jesy. That makes her look a lot better as well. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to say that in this video, to say, you know, that I'm really concerned for you guys' mental health. I will be praying for you guys' mental health and continually will be. I really think, as hard as it's going to be for a lot of you, you need to close those doors. You just need to close them. You need to close them, and you need to trust that, you know, Jesy's moving forward. We need to try and move forward. We don't want to have these doors open when her new stuff comes out, because they're going to be having a field day. So let's aim to not even know what they're saying, right? When Jesy's music comes out, and just focus on sharing the positive stuff, because this stuff takes up a lot of time. And one of these times when I was arguing with somebody on I think it was Twitter, I was going back and forth for ages. I had to stop there and think about how much I could have done in my life more important for myself, or even in support of Jesy, with that same hour. You know, instead of arguing with somebody who clearly wasn't trying to learn, who clearly was just trying to be hateful. You know, anyways, I'm sure you guys will understand what I mean from this video, and I hope you understand that this comes from a place of love. It comes because I genuinely want to see you guys win. You guys are such beautiful people, like inside and outside, you know. And when I see you guys sometimes and I see what you're going through, my heart breaks. I'll be like, look at him or look at her. They're so beautiful, and they're going through so much. You know, they've got so much talent or so many skills doing whatever different things, and yet you're unable to, you know, see how incredible you are because of all these things that people are saying online. Let's shut that out. You know, let's shut that out. If we're going to learn something from Jesy, it's how to overcome those things and win by succeeding. You know, win by coming out and doing something that is going to irritate them enough, and that will be the true win. Just like Jesy with boys and everything. Why did people react so badly? Because they were irritated by her success. And guess what? Do you think she's not here looking at this? She's out here living her life and moving from success to success to success now, and they're just the sad ones over there just being hateful, and it's like no one's even paying attention to you anymore, mate. So yeah, anyways, you guys understand where I'm coming from. I love you all. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Let me know how you've been feeling about this battle, like where you're at with it now. Like, where are you at with the battle now? How do you feel about what's going to be coming up next, you know, when Jesy starts to release her music and stuff? Are there things that you guys want me to either pray for you, or things that you guys want to do? Feel free to share, guys, if there's stuff that, like, even in the comment section, stuff that you guys do. Let's be a community where we can support each other into success, into good mental health, you know, and stuff, and talk about the hard stuff, and just let's just stop listening to people whose opinions don't matter, you know what I mean? Anyways, God bless you all. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.